When we talk about stitching out all these decorative stitches, I'm going to give you one more level of awesomeness that these stitches can be adjusted to. So on the Bernina 790, when you pick a decorative stitch, we're in the menu 400s, a lot of dense stitches in here. I want to show you something you can adjust in the touch the eye for information and change the length of the stitch. Now it's not just changing the length of the stitch, because if you do that, it just spreads out the stitches. But right here, you can actually extend the stitch. As you extend it, it adds in more stitches to fill that in. Now back to that stitch book, a lot of people will just stitch out the decorative stitches, which is what I do, and just get each of the default stitches as they are saved in the machine to stitch out. Now the students that go above and beyond will often take and stitch out some of their stitches that have been extended just to see the difference in how they look, because some of those stitches are going to look really fun if you stitch them out in some of those other settings. Now while we're in here, if you are using some thinner thread, right here is how we adjust the density. So sometimes when you stitch it, it doesn't fill in all the way. If you've ever experienced that, come into this same area and actually touch minus. Notice how heavy this stitch is going to stitch, and guaranteed to not have any gaps. Now I do a lot of decorative stitches with our Bernina Stitching Cosmos online course, and to get my stitches to really stand out bold, I do a lot of density adjustments, just so it looks really sharp, really filled in, and as bold as possible, and still get the look of the stitch without just making it more compact. And here's what I'm talking about. If you're out here with just the regular stitch and you shorten that stitch length, see how it just pushes the stitch together? Yeah, not the same. That's why if you start with the regular stitch and adjust the density, that's when you can get that heavier stitch, but you haven't altered the original pattern. So check out our free videos for our Bernina Stitching Cosmos online course. You can at least get your stitch book stitched out. Those links are below this YouTube video, and I hope maybe to see some of you in class soon.